Let's start. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiano Mtandazo. On today's interview, we are going to be having a conversation with Luyanda Khubisa. She's going to be walking us through how she built her modeling career and how she balances out being a model and being herself, which is being Luyanda, being a sister, being a daughter, and how she balances everything out in her life. So Luyanda, her full name is Luyanda Khubisa, and she currently holds three titles in the pageant space. She is Miss Mhlathuze. She is also Miss Kwaduguza Mall, and then she is also the second runner princess of Miss King Ejwayo. So without wasting more time, I'm just gonna wait for her to request to join into the live, and then we'll start our conversation. Let's add her up. You are the essence. Your pen and paper if you are interested in joining the modeling space or the pageant space, and also grab something to drink so that you can sit back and enjoy the conversation. Hello.
Hi, Tandazo. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great as well.
I feel like I haven't had you up here in a long time.
It's been a while.
Been
It's been a
about,
while.
I think it's been I think it's been almost 2 years. It's been a minute since we've had you here. How are you doing? Good?
I'm great. And yourself? You look super gorgeous, as always.
But I can't compare to you. Huh?
You do.
I can try.
You do. You're fine. You're fine. You're definitely fine.
I try to put up a very strong fight. But
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've done a quick introduction. I think let's just jump right into it. I hope you've had a good Sunday. I saw you were busy yesterday. Yo, I don't know how you do it, hey? I honestly don't.
Do it.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it. So let's just jump right into it. My first question is basically, I want you to walk us through your modeling journey. How did it start? And basically, how did you try to create a little bit of a balance between your modeling career and your life in general?
Okay, so I think any foundation is very, very important. For me, pageantry started at school. I was in high school in grade 8 when I did my first pageant. A teacher actually by the name of Miss Babas, which is like she really believed in me more than I believed in myself at the time. She was like, "You would make such a great Miss Kwatlageza. Please enter." And I'm like, "Hey, this lady better chill out. Like, what is she talking about? Like, I get it. You think I'm cute. A lot of people think I'm cute. I was cute in grade 8. I'm like, but it doesn't mean I want to be in that space, especially because I was such a shy child, very, very shy. Like I spoke when I had to, but never just because I wanted to know. So for me, the balance has always been there. The foundation for me is I started pageantry in a space that was not meant for pageantry. I was at school when I started it. So already my main focus was school. It wasn't pageant. So it never ever in my life took the first priority, and I don't think it ever will. The way I view it is one day I'll have to stop doing this. At some point, I will stop.
Oh.
I cannot make it my entire existence. I need to build myself up to be so strong as an individual and as a brand that even when the time comes that I no longer do this, I've built other things that are solid. So I do pageantry, but it's never biggest priority.
Yes, got you. I guess that's a very, wow, it's actually quite interesting because I think I assumed and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people who see people who model, even if it's not like your full-time career, even if it's just like you, where you have your full-time career that you're building, you have the person that you want to become, but the fact that you do pageantry and you do maybe some photo shoots every once in a while, we kind of assume that that's going to be your main focus in terms of building your career. It's quite interesting to learn that it you can have it, but it can just be like something you do on the side while you're still building your career, or like whatever life that you envision for yourself. That's quite interesting. That's quite
Also,
interesting.
remember, modeling is much like gambling. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the title. So if you were to put all your eggs in this one basket, what does that, what does that mean? Now you failed your entire existence because you didn't get that crown or that title. Like that's all there is to you as an individual. It can't be. You cannot. You can't.
Oh, I get you. Okay, definitely get you. Definitely get you. Can you briefly describe your modeling experience? So you've walked us through your background. I would say it started when you were in grade 8. So you were not really in a space where you wanted to do it because of your personality and basically where you were then in your life. But just briefly describe your experience as a pageant. I call you the pageant queen. I think you've kind of gotten used to the title by now. So just like, yeah, describe your modeling experience so far.
Okay, so I have your basic high school modeling experience. This would be your school pageant. I was Miss Lang is high school. Immediately after high school, I think I won Miss South Africa for a day, which was a competition run by the Miss South Africa organization to find somebody to go with them to the Durban July and just kind of get to be Miss South Africa for the weekend.
What was that?
That was actually really nice. I mean, I learned, I think that was very pivotal for the foundation of all my pageant beliefs because I learned so much in such a small space of time. Like they're teaching you everything and you're like, okay, I'm absorbing everything. And when I went out to implement all the advice that I'd gotten, it actually worked. I'm like, oh, okay,
I
this
see
actually,
you.
yeah.
Mm,
So
mm.
that that was a very cool experience. It was very, very nice. It kind of showed me how this is actually a job more than anything because there's a schedule. You're attending the Durban July, but you know at 10 I have to be here. At 12:30 I have to be at this marquee, this booth. I have to go take pictures with Standard Bank. I was like, oh, I thought we are gonna just be sitting and eating and just like taking pictures and just vibing. No, it was a job. We were working the whole day,
Yes,
but it was an
yes.
incredible job. So yeah, and then I was crowned Miss Zululand. Actually, the first Miss Zululand that looks like me. So very dark-skinned Miss Zululand. The face of Zululand. This was in 2019, and then after I did Miss Jungle South Africa, that was my first national competition, like with other provinces, and I placed first runner-up at Miss Jungle South Africa. I really wanted that one because I really wanted to go to Tanzania. It was like an opportunity to go outside the country. It didn't happen. But yeah, then currently Miss Aduza Mall. Yeah, that was important for me for building the connections and networking. That was my thought process behind doing Miss Aduza Mall. I'm like, listen, you're gonna need to start having proper contacts. And if Vivian Reddy is the owner of Ugatuza Mall and you're Miss Ugatuza Mall, you're gonna interact with this person a lot. You're gonna work with this person a lot. Like you want him to know you first name basis. So when you need a job, girl, like you know who to call.
No, who don't know. Yeah, you know which doors to knock on. Oh, connection with lives. Oh, it's just Wait a bit. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just try and admit Luyanda again. It seems like we're having a little bit of a connection issue. To everyone who's joining us now, we are talking to Luyanda. I call her the pageant queen because she's won so many pageants, and I think she's done so many. And she's sharing with us her journey and basically some of the tips that you can use to start your career. Okay, I think you're back.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happens with lives. You
Yeah.
network, we can't control it, unfortunately. And okay, you were still saying that when you joined Umis Kwaduguza Mall, it was like the main thing behind joining it was building your networks and building your contact list. You were still elaborating on that.
Yeah, I was like, with everything that I do, there has to be a bigger end goal. There has to be a bigger intention. I can't just be doing it for fun anymore. You know, it
Yes.
needs to kind of help me in my personal development as well.
Yes,
And
that's
having
true.
somebody who is such a like an entrepreneurial guru as a contact, as somebody you could always go to for advice, definitely need that. So I
Definitely.
entered it. There was a nice cash price with it, but my main thought process was the contact. I want the
Yes.
contact. And
Yes.
then my recently my municipal pageant, Miss Mhlatsuze.
Yes.
And this one, definitely, I cannot say it was for myself. It was actually for a student who recently joined my modeling classes. The first time she actually watched me during a pageant was Miss Mhlatsuze 2022. And I didn't place at that pageant. So when I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to demonstrate to this girl that there's going to be times in her journey as well that she's going to want something. It's not going to happen the way, she desires it to happen. But let me show her that we try again. Let me show her that we're not people that are easily just letting go and giving up. Um, if we will really, really want something, we will try and we will work at it until we perfect it and then until we get it. So I answered that and I want that. And I went back to her and I'm like, you remember what happened, right? See now, like I'm proud. See now, like I
Yeah.
got the money, I got the title. You see,
Mm,
sometimes it's just a delay and no one is actually denying you your dream. And I
yes,
want you
yes.
to like, take this as a lesson. So even when I'm not your coach, you know that, okay.
No, yes, yes. That is so powerful, eh?
Yeah,
That is so powerful. Because like I feel like in life in general, there's so many things that we sometimes don't get at the time that we want to get them.
exactly.
And most people just let it go. They're just like, "Oh, okay, it just means it's not for me." And yes, but Bushu is like sometimes you just have to understand Uguti, it's not your season then, but it doesn't mean Uguti you shouldn't try again. It doesn't mean Uguti you won't get it eventually the way that you envision it when the timing is right. That is amazing. That is
Yeah.
amazing. So you just spoke about classes, coaching classes. Can we tap into that before we move to the next question?
Okay. Okay.
So what coaching classes do you have? How does it work? And how do people contact you for that?
So it's your modeling classes, your basic modeling classes. We teach ramp, we teach public speaking. We help you work on your social media. We have content creation days. We help you understand your personal brand as a model and then pick competitions and projects that align with you as an individual. So it's literally, I call my school curated models because we're curating you into the best version of yourself that you can be. For me, it's a holistic journey. I don't just want you to be good at walking. I don't just want you to be good at speaking. I want you to want to exist in spaces that make you happy. I want you to understand that with you, there's a much bigger purpose than just wearing a crown and a sash. It can't just be about collecting sashes. What do I do with it? How do I make this organization better because they've experienced me as a title holder?
Got
So definitely prefer hand-picking models myself, but I do accept people into my classes. If you want to join class, they are currently in Richards Bay. We also do private lessons with people in their homes, should they prefer. Obviously, prices will vary if you're coming to me versus me coming to you. A class is 150 per session, but it's 600 Rand for a whole month, which includes 4 lessons. Yeah, we do social media etiquettes, RAM, public speaking, social media. Will help you with every single part of your pageantry journey. We will literally style you, contact my designers for you to make your outfit, everything I wish I had when I began modeling from a coach, because I never had coaching. I will definitely do for you.
Got you. That's amazing. And do you guys have a social media page for that?
Yes, we are curated models, curated modeling school ZA.
Okay. On Instagram or on Facebook or both?
Instagram. We're still just having.
All right. Perfect. I want to know what inspired you to actually go for modeling as something that you're going to be doing. I know you said in grade 8 it was this teacher who thought you were cute and all of that, but let's say past that, what inspired you to actually continue on the journey?
I think, if I'm going to be honest with you, deep down, I think it's something I was born with. I'll tell you, my grandmother says till this day that I knew how to pose without ever seeing a model in my life. I would walk with so much confidence as a kid, and they'd be like, what is she doing? And I had no reference. That was the thing. I had no reference for it all. It was something that I did naturally, and I've always found it natural. Even when I started doing it and everybody thought, oh, I had coaching, and I never did. Something that's always been natural. And then I recently discovered that my mother, actually, she's late. My biological mother was actually a model. So I don't know if it could be genetics, if there's such a thing.
Yeah, I guess it's possible, because sometimes you do take certain personalities from your parents and stuff. Yeah.
But I don't have like a fixed thing that I could say, oh, I'm sure it's this. I know that it's natural. I know that it's something that I've always had in me, because I have baby pictures to prove it. So I don't know.
Okay. It's just fate. It's just the universe saying this is your destiny, this is your purpose, this is your walk, then just walk it. Love it. So I know in modeling there's like different types. So there's the pageant, which you've been doing quite often, but have you done any other type of modeling where maybe you do photo shoots for products, maybe you do, I don't know, photo shoots for a campaign? What else have you been involved in? It's just always been pageantry.
My first love is definitely pageantry. I love what the platforms can do for you. But I've done runway. I've worked for a couple of designers. Also have done photography modeling. Those are not my favorite, but definitely have to be versatile as a model, because even in pageantry, you're going to work with sponsors, and a sponsor needs you to sell a certain product. I do a lot of I did a lot of photography modeling, not so much anymore, but I did a lot of photography modeling, and I did a lot of runway.
But you still prefer
pageantry.
Gotcha.
I'm a pageant.
Yeah. Pageant queen. You're not a pageant girl. Pageant queen.
Pageant queen.
Yes. Thank you. My next question is basically, how do you maintain professionalism and a positive mindset or attitude on set or during a photo shoot? How do you do that?
I think it also, like, I'm a Christian first and foremost. I know Jesus, I know God, I love God, and most things are sticking to trying to have a godlike nature. It's understanding that I can't just talk to people however, no matter how upsetting something might be. I need to pull myself towards myself, try and find a nice way to say it, and then I say it. And if it's something that really doesn't mean that much to me, obviously, like choosing to have a simple heart and just saying, you know what, they probably didn't mean it that way. They're probably having a rough day themselves. Let me just let it go. Let me just let it be. It's okay. So I think it's my Christian values that help me stay professional at all times. It's me being like intentional about making sure that everybody who meets me, you know, has a good experience. Because sometimes people are just going to meet you once. And I don't want to be that girl who was so mean, that girl who was so angry, and she had a lot to say, and she told who this. No.
Yes.
A
Yes,
positive
that's a
time together, enjoy our time together, get the job done, and bye-bye.
And I think that actually like creates a lasting impact in the people that you work with. Because I'm sure they say that when they encounter people who have a lot to say and all of
Yeah.
that, they'll be like, oh, why can't they just be like Luyanda, like that girl was so peaceful and so fun and so good to work with. We got the job done, we didn't have to fight and all of that. I think that says a lot about your personality and about yourself, Jay, as a person, because I know the space of modeling, sometimes it's not
The
as
pressure,
smooth.
the
Yes, the
pressure.
pressure gets so high. Yes, the pressure does get so high. Um, so tell me about a project or a campaign that you are most proud of so far in your modeling career. And what was your role or what was your contribution?
Yo, there's so many because
Yeah, maybe like the top three or top two.
because I've been doing this for a while, but
Mm.
um first, the most recent one that really spoke to my heart was when Kwaduza Mall and I visited a center in Kwaduza that houses special needs kids. I think there was about 30 kids at the center, if I'm not mistaken. There was a lady who just wrote into the mall, like requesting donations. Um, it was diapers, food, that type of thing. And, you know, working with people who can feel for the community in that way, to take those things urgently, make it happen, and do it in a way that says, I want this to last. I want to build a relationship with you guys. So whenever you need, we can try to always provide. And that
Yeah.
for me was like a top tier experience to have people negotiating, the stores in our center to say, hey, there's this center that houses special needs kids. What can you guys do with us on a monthly basis or every 3 months to make sure that they have the things that they had requested and needed? And we went to the center, we did a handover of all the things that we had brought to them. It was so beautiful. It was, such a calming experience, such a peaceful experience. Special needs kids, I can tell you, they are some of the most purest human beings because I don't even think they sin. Do they sin? Do they ever really do wrong? And you're around
Yeah.
their pure energy. You can't help but to feel, relaxed after being with them. And yeah, that for me was beautiful. But the mall generally does a lot of good work in the community. It's just the most recent project. There's still a lot that we have to do with them. I know there's a shoe project. We'll be donating shoes to school around the area soon. Um, then also, I developed a love for greening. You know, when I
You
entered a pageant,
do love, yes, you do love that a
when
lot.
I,
I've seen it
yeah.
in your work.
So when I did Miss Channel South Africa and I started doing research on the environment and the planet, because research is important in modeling, understanding a brand that you are working with. So I did my research and I fell in love with the environment. I fell in love with greening and how I could use this as a way to alleviate poverty, how I could lower food insecurity. And recently, I think it was a month or two back now. I think it has to be 2 months back. Recently had Bay Brick donate seedlings to us, and we started vegetable gardens for about 10 families in my community. That was beautiful, and I facilitated the negotiations between Bay Bricks and myself to get them to buy those seedlings, and then I then started planting with the Kansai like Langagiti, because very supportive of Sam. Helped me identify the families that were most in need. We did the planting with some of the community members, and now there's 10 families with gardens.
Which will actually provide food in the next couple of months for the families and probably their neighbors as well.
Exactly.
Because you never know, okay? Yes, you never know. You do love green, actually. I've watched you do a lot of like food gardens and like teaching people about planting. And you actually also visit a lot of schools. I also have seen where you guys plant like certain plants or like sprouting a vegetable garden in the schools, which I think is amazing because, as you said, you are, in a sense, lowering the food security and you are providing food for underprivileged people and underprivileged kids, possibly schools as well. The next one is pretty, well, it's not pretty intense, but basically, what steps do you normally take to prepare for like your gig? If I can call it a gig. Let's say you have a pageant that you want to, that you've entered for, and now you have to do, I don't know, your first shoot or your first appearance, and. What are the steps that you normally follow when you're going for your gig?
So, like I said, research is important. Like understanding that brand. Firstly, what type of representative are they looking for? Like a Miss Earth South Africa is not the same as a Miss South Africa, and is not the same as a Miss Universe South Africa. So understanding firstly, what does the organization want from me? So definitely Miss Earth South Africa is more about greening and planting and taking care of the environment. So do your research on that. Miss South Africa is an ambassador for South Africa. Understand why you want to be the ambassador for South Africa. Miss Universe South Africa is competing internationally, representing South Africa. Why do you want to wear the sash written South Africa? Do you understand the people? Do you understand the culture, that the diversity? What are you going to share with the international audience about South Africa? So definitely research. Do your research. Understand precisely the ins and outs of that brand. Look at former winners, and then understand yourself. Then I've looked at this organization. Now, how do I align with the brand values? How do they align with me? And if they do not, then I don't do it, because this is a year of my life. Why would I want to be stuck in something that I don't believe in myself? So definitely research. Once I've done my research, I decide, am I accepting this? Am I doing this? Okay, I'm doing this. Then I understand my whys. Why am I doing this? I am honest about my whys to myself. I write down my whys. Okay, there's a good cash price, there's good contacts, there's this. Okay, those are very personal. Once I've ticked all my whys, and then let's get started. Keep my mind in a good space. Just being content, knowing that, just knowing and understanding that it's me against me more than anything. Literally, the main thing that I can do is just make sure that I do my best. I just do my best, and anyone else, then that's irrelevant. Because imagine when you run and you really, really run and you don't catch a bus, and it's okay. I didn't catch it, but I gave it my all. Rather than just walking about slowly, and then you're like, oh, I missed the bus. You missed the bus because you were slow. It's not because, yeah. So definitely prepare. Definitely do your research. Definitely put your best foot forward. Take the time to understand the brand. Take the time to understand yourself. Look into your styling. Am I happy with everything that I'm wearing? Am I showing up 100% all the time for my interviews? Am I always on point? Do I embody the brand even before I'm crowned? Do I make sense to them just by them looking at me? So it's a combination of all those things. They must look at me and feel like, oh, she could be a great ambassador. I haven't even won, but you looked at me and you've decided that, oh my gosh, she'd be a great ambassador.
Yes, yes. And do you do anything like physically, maybe like you said something about so you change, you have to always like have your styling checked and everything. And then do you do like, I don't know, walks and whatever to just try and see if you're like still in tune and practice and
Definitely. That is so pivotal. It is important. When I say preparation shows, the most prepared girl, you can always tell in a pageant that she put in the most work.
yes.
She wanted it over everyone else. So you definitely take your time and work on your walk as well. Being mentally ready is important, but also learning how to be physically ready is also important because it's a pageant. Come through slaying in every single department.
Yes, definitely. All right. So, um, as we said, like in the modeling career, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of competition as well. And you are obviously in the face of people, which is us, like people are sitting at home watching you, either on TV or on a platform like Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. How do you handle criticism or feedback about your appearance and your performance? So, like, not everyone is going to say, oh, Luyanda walked so well. Not everyone is going to say, oh, I love her outfits. Not everyone is going to say, oh, how she's so beautiful. Some people are going to say you are, but some people, there's going to be a percentage of people who are just negative towards you and your work. How do you handle that?
I think that goes back to like my Christian values. Like it's more than anything there, it's just God allowing me to have a simple heart. Just saying, no, you know what? People have problems, and sometimes their problems have nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. But also respecting that, like, everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Yes.
If you're not saying directly to my face, really, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, you're allowed to feel whatever you're allowed, like you're feeling. It's okay. I'm also feeling some type of way about things. I'm also maybe looking at another contestant and feeling, oh, but yeah, nah, she didn't wear really well. What. I'm entitled to having my own thoughts and opinions as long as I'm not like going out there and directly hurting someone with those negative opinions. I'm not going to outright say it to your face. I'm not going to outright try and break down your self-esteem. No, like I'm entitled to an opinion, but I also have the responsibility to protect you from, you know, a broken self-esteem. You don't need that. Like nobody needs. So I definitely respect people's opinions, but I respect them more if not they're not coming directly to me. Like you're allowed to feel like you're deserving or Luyanda is what. It's okay. Like I accept it.
Just don't
I respect your opinion. Yeah. I just don't leave me alone. Leave me
and and have you ever had people who have like said it to your face or maybe like commented on a picture and stuff? How do you deal with that?
A couple of times actually. Like I said, I do not like getting into back and forth with people. So most cases I will let it slide. Like it's okay. It's really, really
it doesn't define me.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I should be comfortable in myself enough to know that like you can say whatever you need to say. You can feel whatever you need to feel. I cannot be shaken by everything that is said about me. There's so many people who are still going to say so many things. Some crumble at the first thing that somebody else says. No, people don't know me like that. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how hard I work. Like you're just seeing, I'm telling you the surface, like this much. I can't let you have that big of an effect on me. There's no way I'm giving you that much power. No way.
Yes. Oh, love that. I think as in, like, we need to apply that in our lives in general, where, because people are always going to speak, whether you're doing something good, whether you're doing something bad.
Yeah,
But it's the thing with struggles, you can't give someone so much power over you, so
exactly.
much power over your life, just because, well, now they're just having a negative opinion. And Jomo Bush, they don't know you that well. They don't know you that much to actually even have really like an honest opinion about you. I love that. We're almost done actually. Next one is, it's like one of my favorite questions to ask, ladies especially. Do you believe in intentional self-care days? And if so, why?
Definitely. I mean, we do so many things. We YouTube channel, you have the mentorship corner, and it's also very important to like recoup and recollect and reconnect with yourself. It's very important to have those internal conversations. It's very important to listen to the internal dialogue, because sometimes you don't realize how you're actually feeling about things because life is so stressful and we're always like on this fast-paced
On the
mission.
go.
We're always
Yes.
trying to complete the next task. We're always doing this. And when you take the time to just sit back, relax, reflect, you can actually tell, oh, that kind of hurt me. That was kind of upsetting. In the moment, I let it slide and I didn't care, but oh, that's kind of upsetting. I'm not okay with this. And that helps me reinforce my boundaries. That helps me have more genuine conversations with myself and things that I'm willing to accept and allow in future. So definitely being intentional about self-care, it's pivotal for every single woman out there. Like, take the time to relax. Take the time to be alone with your thoughts. Take the time to do things that make you want to stay alive. Go out with your friends. Look good. You'll feel so much better about yourself. Take the time to do your nails.
Um,
Be in your feels about yourself. Like, love yourself. Like, love yourself
yes.
that much extra
Love
every once in
it.
a while.
Love that. I love the be in your feels about yourself. You know,
Not
like we are always in our feels
what
about
other
our
people
partners, and we always get so excited about our friends. Yes, and other things, but sometimes we just forget about us. I love
us
that. Like be in your feels about
about
yourself.
yourself.
Thank you. Amen. Amen. I feel like you're preaching right there. We've actually come to the end of our live. I wanted to ask you to describe an experience where you've had like a full-on glam squad for like a pageant or whatever. But I think you actually touched on that when you spoke about the whole being Miss South Africa for a day, where you actually had to learn Huti. Modeling is not just about walking on the runway or just wearing a sash, but it's actually like a job. So you have to like follow through, like obviously be there for your makeup and your outfit change and whatever, and do this and this and this and this. I don't know if you want to share the experience of having a full glam
Definitely,
team.
definitely.
Let's
I
hear.
think that was the first time I had like a actually within the South African organization when I was with South Africa for a day. I didn't realize how early people wake up for makeup. I got a text from the Miss South Africa organization asking me to be up at 5:30, and I'm like, "What are we doing at 5:30? What are we doing at 5:30?" And they were doing my face at 5:30, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I had two people doing my makeup, and telling you to smile. There's another person telling this one that this brow is not okay. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was the first of many, but it was definitely a highlight for me. Definitely a highlight.
you. Got you. So, do you have any last comments for someone who's watching this live and they're like, maybe like they're 18, in their 20s, or even in their 30s, and they're considering jumping into the modeling space? Do you have any advice to give to them before we close the call?
Whew, yo, there's a lot I could say. I think I could actually write a book about this at this point. But do it. You live a life of what ifs, what ifs, what if, what ifs. Like I said, but if you're gonna do it, like I said, do it with everything inside of you. Run. Don't walk, run. So if you don't catch a bus, you know every job, every competition, every audition, like you are going to do it with everything inside of you, and you're going to look at the quality and the body of work that you produce, and you say, I'm actually proud of this. There's nothing else I want to take away or I want to add. I am content. So I fully know inside of me that if it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to be. Not that I could have, I should have
Done better,
listened to my,
could have
yeah,
improved that,
could have
yeah.
practiced more. I could have, no. Like, if you're gonna consider doing pageantries, doing,
Okay, wait. I'm losing you there. Just wait. Okay.
hello, hello.
Oh gosh. Wait. I lost you there, unfortunately. Oh, our connection is not good again. Man,
Okay.
I think we'll back just now. Yeah, okay. So I lost you when you were just like when you just had just finished saying like you must give it your all, like you must run and you must know it's like for each audition, after every performance, uyazi ukuthi there's nothing that you would take out and there's nothing that you would add. So you know ukuthi everything that you've been doing, you were giving it your all. But you continued after that, but the connection was not so good. So wongazakali kahle.
Okay. And also, for me, it's also very important for you to be a nice human being. Understand that sometimes most times, these things are a destiny thing. You might is there to inspire a nation. Maybe that's something that I could not have done. Maybe this person is there to inspire one person who would go then and effect change that is so big in society that I could not have done. I accept I accept it fully as it comes to me. Um, no one is my competition here. I'm just here to put on a performance that I'm proud of, that I can look back at and say, hey, so there's never going to be a point where another girl needs your help and you're not going to provide help because you're scared that she's going to win.
Be better. Yes, yes.
It's too small in South Africa. I could be competing with you today. You could be judging me next week for something. And my fate is in your hands. Would you not have rather
Mm.
you
Yeah.
I played by the book. You know, it's accepting fate as it comes. If you're gonna just have a strong mind, have a gentle heart, have a strong mind, have a
Got you. Got you. Mm, got you. Got you. Okay, Nizwila, guys, thank you so much, Luyanda. Thank you for making time this afternoon. We had a few network problems, but we got through. We survived, and we had an amazing conversation. I hope people will learn for their pageant career or their modeling career. But I feel like the information you shared and some of the your lessons and some of the tips you shared, it's things that we can actually apply in our everyday life, not just for modeling, because at the end of the day, it all starts within, and that's the first thing that you emphasized: loving yourself, knowing your worth, and giving your all in anything that you do, so that, and allowing fate to take its course. Love that. Love that. So yeah, it's goodbye from me. Take
always
care,
nice talking
babes.
to you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye, guys.